All right, welcome back to music, y'all. This is Mr. Bradley from Cox Elementary coming at you here with another music lesson. Okay, here's the supplies that you're going to need for today's activity. First off, you're going to want to print out this thing from the district choice board for music. This is the 4th grade activity that we're going to do at the end, and I'll kind of walk you through how that works. At the end, you're going to need a piece of paper, a writing utensil, and then you are also going to need to take some other papers, not the paper that we're going to practice on, make some paper balls, or if you already have balls of some kind, to throw into a trash can or a bowl, and then get some kind of trash can or bowl to throw those paper balls or actual regular throwing balls. If you're going to do that, do it outside. Anyway, you're going to need these for later. All right, I'll put those aside for now. All right, today's lesson is all about reading music off of a staff. But before we get into that, we need to know what those words mean. So first, what is a staff? I'll tell you, a staff is 5 lines where notes go. 5 lines where notes go. Boom City. All right, that's a staff, and we'll see what that looks like. Looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll use that bottom line as 5. I'll add something to that in a moment. The musical alphabet is our next one. The musical alphabet. You know your regular alphabet, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, E, and so on. The musical alphabet actually stops at G. It's really easy. So it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it starts back at A. So it repeats over and over and over. Rinse and repeat. Okay. A clef tells us where notes go. Clef tells us where notes go. Awesome. And a treble clef is just a certain kind of clef. It looks like this. We're not going to draw one of these today, but it's what we're working with. Vaguely looks something like that. And then lines and spaces on the treble clef. This is the part that's going to come in super handy today. You're going to want to memorize these, and after I teach this to you, I'm going to tell you what point in the video that you can go back to look at these. All right, so for lines, if a note is on a line, and you'll see what that looks like in a moment, you need to remember this. Say it with me, every good, say good, every good boy does fine. Say this with me, every good boy does fine. If you want to write that down, you can. Underline the E, G, B, D, F. And for spaces, we're going to remember this. Space, face. It rhymes to help you out. And I want you to write it in all capitals so that you remember it. Space, face. Here's the point in the video if you need review. Remember this, 333. That's the information you need to complete this lesson. 339, 340, 3. Any of those times, go back to this point in the video and pause it so that you have the information you need. And we're going back. Okay, let's do a little bit of practice. Now that we have our information written down, get your sheet of paper. You can turn it over if you want. Whew. And we're going to draw a staff. A staff meaning 5 lines. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 straight across. Sweet. And you don't have to do this, but you can. We're going to draw a treble clef. Start here above the top line, go straight down. Boom, put a dot at the bottom of it. Go back to the top, make a little D that stops at the second line down, cross, spin around the second from the bottom. That's a treble clef. Sweet. All right, so now we're getting into these lines and spaces that I was talking about earlier. So for lines, we're going to start at the bottom, and every line, let me explain what a line and a space is before I get ahead of myself. A line. If a note is on a line, the line will go directly through that note, like so. See how the line goes through it? Nailed it. That's a line. That note is on a line. If a note is on a space, or in a space more accurately, it is in between two lines. Line, space. That's the first step of knowing what to do for this. If a note happens to be on a line, here's the letters that you remember. Every good boy does fine. Say that with me, and you're going to write them on your staff. Every good boy does fine. You nailed it. Now for the spaces, we're going to start at the bottom again, inside that space, and write space face. F A C E. Now you have given yourself a nice cheat sheet for your activity later when you come back to this. You should be able to fill this out just with this, but we're going to play a game here in a second. All right, let's do a couple practices, and with these practices I'm going to show you how the game works. We write a note, a circle on the staff. So we're going to draw a circle on any of these lines or spaces. Make sure that your circle is small enough to fit into the space. I'm going to use the space first. So it's inside that top space. All you have to do is, first, step one, is it on a line or a space? I just told you it's on a space. So for spaces, we use F, A, C, E. We're going to touch those spaces as we go up. F, A, C, E. So we write E. That's an E. All right, let's do this one. Oh, and here's the game. Sorry. Here's the game. If you get it right, you take one of those balls and you get it in every time. All right, let's do another one because I have 5 of those balls to throw. This one is also on a space because it's in between two lines. So we go F, A, C, E. That one was on the C, so we write C right there. Boom. Take your paper ball. Whoop. Nailed it. All right, let's do a line. The one that I already wrote says line next to it. Every good boy does fine. So that would be E, G, B, D, F. We don't need to do all of them. It's on the first one. It's every, which is E. Take your paper ball. I'm nailing it today. I made 3 in a row. All right. 2 more, real quick. All right, let's do another line at this top line. It's on a line, so I go, every good boy does fine. Fine starts with an F. I write F, take my paper ball. Woo! Yes! All right, and last but not least, let's do this middle one. Is it on a line or a space, y'all? Does the line go directly through it, or is it in between two lines? You're right, it's on a line. All right, so we say it with me, every good boy does fine. Which one was this on? If you said boy, you're correct, and boy starts with a B, like Mr. Bradley, and I'm going to go fancy with my last one and see if I can make it over my shoulder. You ready for this? I'm going to try to get out of the way. Wasn't even close. But you get the gist. Okay. Then we go back. Now that you know how to do it, go back to the sheet that we printed out from the choice board that has this like secret code. It's like a letter that we have to figure out the secret code for. And all you have to do is go into this thing, look at each note, see if it's on a line or a space. And guess what? You have a cheat code here at the top too, just in case you forget. Boop, 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 boop. Is it on a line or a space? And then you see every good boy does fine, or F-A-C-E. You write the letter underneath and it'll give you a fancy message. I don't even know the answer to this. I haven't filled it out yet. And then there's a question at the end that you have to answer. Now, you might be confused about these lines attached. Oh, there we go. The lines that are attached to the dots, you don't need to know anything about those yet. Just pay attention to where the dot itself is. And I just realized that this one has some on that I didn't teach you. But they're on this paper. Right here. Right here. So use this. All right. Good luck, y'all. Love you. Miss you.